Morning, today is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, and we're presently with the road crew supervisor, Bear Taylor. And as for the road crew, first of all, do we have any meeting or minutes, Helen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have red report for January 7th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right, Bear, would you start us off, please?
Sure, we'll just get through this pretty quick. Not a lot of updates, but as far as requests or issues go, really just in that time of year where we're getting calls for potholes, trying to get to them as soon as we can. You guys are out grading in full force now in up north and around here. We're gonna figure something out for Whitehall. I gotta get another guy on a blade somewhere down there, but no real updates on Easton at this time. He's still dealing with his stuff back east, so we'll figure out how we're gonna address that one move forward. We did get that culvert on Warm Springs replaced yesterday. So went okay, but at least it's done.
I was gonna drive up there and check it out, but I didn't have time.
It went all right, he said, but they were getting a little carried away with moving that excavator off the road and almost got it sunk in some mud. But, yeah. Older guys are out grading too. They did the Amazon and Muskrat yesterday. Since we had some moisture, we were able to tag team a couple of roads instead of focusing on one. But I got them back down on Lower Valley. We got some touch-up work to do on some stuff they did last week, and then get the rest of that road done so we can be moving on from there. And then when Jim's been here, he's dealing with just some illness. He's out today again, but he's been doing a bunch of sweeping down there when we've had moisture. He's just about done with everything for sweeping down there. So we should have pretty much the whole county done.
When you say sweeping, you're talking about the roadways?
Yep. Yeah, we just sweep all the chip seal roads for all the sand we put
Oh,
in the winter, clean the intersections and whatnot. Get it off the roadway. He's been doing a really good job of keeping himself busy down there, but we're getting to a point where we're gonna have to have a better plan moving forward, get him some help down there. I did talk to Josh Ritchie, the Butte superintendent for MDT, about the possibility of using their mag tanks in Boulder and Whitehall for mag storage in the summer. He thought it was a great idea, but he's running it up the food chain.
Deborah Gay joined the meeting.
That's odd. He usually doesn't do that. Hello. You just joined the county commission road meeting. Can you identify yourself, please?
Hey, Corey, this is Deborah Gay.
Oh, hi, Deb.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. We're just getting started here, so.
Okay, no
Oh,
worries. I
yeah.
just have a couple of topics whenever you guys get to it. I'm gonna put you on mute though, because I'm out and about today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
So they're gonna run it up the flagpole. He thinks it's a great idea. We can just go in at the beginning of the season and make note of how much they've already got in their tanks. Then we just ensure there's that much at the end of the season. We may have to help with, if they've got too much at the beginning of the season, we may have to help tanker some of that to other sections to make room for our material. But that's not a big deal. They utilize one of the same companies that we have in the past for mag chloride, and they have a state contract, so we wouldn't have to go out to bid. We can just go through their bulk purchase
Supplier. Nice.
which is great, because all it would be is just making a phone call and saying, hey, we need a load, and a day or two later, we got a load of mag.
Nice.
I am gonna call them, it's through Dust Busters in Wyoming. I'm gonna get with Ed, is their guy that we work with. He's mentioned some storage options as well that they'd be able to assist us with. Cause like in Montana City, we wouldn't have mag storage up there because they don't use mag in Helena, and it's farther away from the shop. So we'll keep playing with that conversation and see where that goes.
Okay.
I reached out to Steve Marks last week. We got to talk again, but I've talked to Ladana, and that Liverpool road for that Halford detour is a private road. And it's one that's been contested quite a bit through the years. So we'll have to see what we can do there. Hopefully maybe reach out to the residents and make sure they're good with it, but.
Where's that at?
Up at Halford off of Plum Gulch where we need to do
Oh,
that
okay.
big
Yeah, it
culvert.
kind of comes
Oh,
back.
That's a private road
So
that detours
It
around.
goes around and into Marks.
Mhm.
It's a private road.
Oh, okay.
So we may have to send a letter to the residents on that road and see what kind of feedback we get from them. And we can let them know that we'd be willing to grade the road and possibly do a dust treatment on it for use of it. I don't know if they'd be for that or not, but
Did you get a chance to talk to Steve?
I reached out to him a couple times. We've both been kind of playing phone tag.
Oh, okay. So that'll kind of be the do or
Yeah,
die there.
the other issue, I did go up there and he's got a lot of stuff kind of right there in the way once it gets into his property, so I'm not sure how accessible it's gonna be.
Sure.
So we may have to look at some other repair options. I didn't send it in time. I don't know that you had a chance to look at an email I sent for a modified schedule request for Sherry. We ran into issues over the, well, really for the last year, but with her kind of growing usage or job description with the weed and solid waste and all of her trainings and stuff, her schedule is not really consistent. And in order to make up time or to make it all jive, because of the 40-hour work week we go off of, it's been a bit of a struggle. She's had to use some own personal time to make up, to be able to allow to make the schedule go one way and then use too much overtime the next week, and sort of help balance things and make things easier on her with some of her own personal commitments. Kelly recommended requesting that modified schedule so that she could essentially kind of flex those hours around in that 2-week period to be able to reduce overtime, but also reduce her usage of PTO. We still primarily want her in the office from 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, but there are a lot of training she's got from the weed department. There's a lot of times where she's, not a lot, but quite a few times where she's filling in for solid waste sites on the weekends. And she, you know, if we need it, you know, we can use her flagging and different things, but it just makes it easier on payroll if we have that approval in there to say, hey, we know she's not gonna be working a normal standard 8 to 4:30 every day.
Yeah, I read that. I don't think there's any problem with the bear. You just gotta realize when you're doing comp time that it's
Time and a half.
it's time and a half, exactly.
And that-
We're losing
It
that.
wasn't mentioned by you, but it was mentioned by her in her original email to you guys.
So,
But if she uses it, and I was gonna mention that too, if she uses it in the same pay period, it's time for time
Yeah,
instead of time and a half.
well, we told her she can't use comp time in the same pay period, because that's what Kelly told us. So she,
It's not, and that's what I'm saying. It's not comp time, it's just time for time.
yeah, it's just
So it would,
flexing
it
time.
would be just flexing her time. So you
Yeah.
could literally call it comp time. It's just not paid out as time and a half if
Right.
it's used in that same pay period.
Yeah.
If it swaps to the next pay period, then it starts accumulating at time and a half.
yeah,
Correct, yeah.
yeah, she
So-
just put 10 hours this day, 8 hours this day.
Yep,
I mean, it would just
exactly.
flex out to 40 hours a week.
And what it would allow is like, so she has her own side cleaning business, you know, so she's gotta take like a part of a day off once a month or something. So if she was able to work for a solid waste site during the weekend or for Jill on training or something, instead of using PTO to take that time off and then collecting overtime on that day, she'd just
Right.
balance it out. We're not looking at adding more time to it, just making it so everything balances better.
No, I think that's a good idea.
And we've had that discussion on the comp time and flex time and the differences there. So.
Yeah, as long as her county stuff says 80 hours, it should be fine.
We'll let her know.
And just use that comp time for times when you can't get around it essentially.
Right.
And that gives her some extra time without having to take vacation or whatever.
Cause there will be times where she's gonna be putting in over her 80 hours, you know, legitimately with.
Yeah.
We don't
Oh,
wanna
sure.
short her either, say,
Yep.
well, we can flex you around, you're not gonna get overtime, we don't wanna do that too.
Well, she does get overtime because it'll be
Yeah,
time and a half comp time essentially,
Right.
so she'll get twice, 1.5 times what she put in,
yeah.
so I'm good with it.
I am too. Once this works out there, will she actually have a schedule like you'll have one and then Jill will have one and Mike will have one, or what are your?
We've already done that, we
You have
implemented
done
that a
that?
few weeks ago, so she just created an Outlook calendar that is shared with me, Mike and Jill.
Okay.
And so all of her training or any deviation out of her normal 8 to 3:30 or 8 to 4:30 is on that calendar. We can all see it at any moment. So. And she's been doing really good about making sure it's current and up to date. But that was gonna be something we were doing regardless of the modified schedule, because there were a lot of times where me or Mike were expecting her to be there to help us with something, but she was going to a training with Jill that she may have told us, but we forget things. And so that's already been a big help. We'd mentioned a while ago, one of our guys up north was going in for foot surgery earlier this month. It got rescheduled to June, and then we found out the other day that it got rescheduled to tomorrow. So it's definitely a tomorrow. There's potential for him being out for an extended time, upwards or in excess of a year.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Holy cow, you're not gonna have any guys left.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So I've been talking with Kelly about it. We may look at the possibility of hiring a temporary or short term of some sort to help fill that gap in the meantime, which is gonna be difficult. But we need the help, so. Especially if we're gonna be down long term in the south half for a while longer. Just as a point of notice there. And then we did get our LTAP district trainings rescheduled to May 6th. We'll be out here at the fairgrounds. We should have folks from Beaverhead and Madison, Broadwater, and a few other counties out there with us as well.
That was the day we're not gonna have a road meeting or that's the day we can't be in here. Right?
Right, that was at 6.
Yeah, the 6th, because I remember you saying he's gonna be at the fairgrounds, so we'll probably just can all the meetings that day, just come in and do claims, because we can't have this office that day.
Well, we'll have to. I don't know where there's that senior officials preseason wildland meeting that morning too.
Is it?
I don't remember where that was at, but
I think
Dog
that's
won't eat it
Wednesday.
Isn't it?
no, that is in here on
Yeah,
Tuesday,
at 9 in the
Wednesday?
morning, I think.
Tuesday,
On Tuesday?
the 6th, yeah,
At
at
9.
9
I'll
o'clock.
have to get with Doug, because Doug scheduled that up, didn't he? Yeah, I'll have to tell him that this office isn't available.
So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. I was gonna be late to the training, so I could make that officials meeting. And then we're doing a flagger training certification on Monday, the 19th for our guys as well. We've got quite a few that are expiring and a few that new guys have never got it, so. Get that done. One thing I didn't put on here, I wanted to ask, I did get your email about those spelling errors on that encroachment permit. Other than that, was there any opposition to us putting that into effect?
I didn't see anything else, no.
Then we're
That's
gonna get it rocking and rolling. Make it a simpler process. That's kind of the highlights. I did meet with one of the residents from Martinez that we had sent a letter to last week. They weren't even aware of the issue because it was the neighbors that put up the post on their property. They don't live up there, so I told them for now they're fine, but it may come to a point where we might have to pull the T-post out for them, and we're all good. They were pretty worried when they got the letter, so. But I haven't heard from the other two. You guys should be up on Corbin today. It should be there now, or
Are they breaking
not
that today?
yet. It was gonna be maybe this afternoon, but definitely tomorrow is what it was.
They're gonna break it open and kind of try to get it smoothed out.
Yep.
Okay. Did you hear that, Deb? She might still be on mute.
Yeah, I heard that. So it sounds like you guys are gonna be doing smoothing stuff then next couple days.
Yeah, should start
Okay.
hopefully this afternoon. If not this afternoon, it'll be tomorrow morning. We're gonna try and get a couple other roads finished up before they get down there.
Okay.
But we should be able to get to it so if not today, then it'll be tomorrow, and then I'm in talks with Gruber about getting some land up there on possibly Thursday. So.
Okay. And so Bear,
Thoughts.
once that done is, are you guys gonna put a little, I heard you talking about mag chloride at the beginning, but are you gonna try to put a little down in front of our houses just to tide us over?
Yeah, I'm working with one of our vendors for mag right now. She was in a meeting, was gonna get back to me later today just to confirm that they've got enough material on hand to get
Okay.
it after we do the grading.
Okay,
the major
perfect. That was,
concern areas.
yeah, that was one of my topics.
Get it smoothed out and get it, well, so it's not throwing dust, we should be good till we get it chip sealed here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what-
awesome. Sounds good.
Are you gonna grade it and roll it, then put the mag on? How does that work? Do you roll it again when you put the mag on, or how does that process?
We don't roll it after we mag it, and we're not gonna roll it super tight because you want it broke up for that mag to soak in. So we'll just use the lock and roll instead of the with the mag on it, traffic will pack it in.
Okay,
That's why we kind of don't want to do the entire road. Just
how much are you gonna do?
probably from the edge of the asphalt to the bus stop. Front of the houses, right there by.
Okay, that's the mag. Okay,
And
you're
then,
gonna grade the whole thing.
yeah, we're gonna grade at least up to houses.
Okay,
Timing. And then we'll also look at doing Spring Street, probably with mag, at least up to.
yeah, bad.
Okay.
Are you going as far up as the mine then on Corbin Road or the Wicks Road?
Yeah, we should be, we're not, I gotta go look at it, see what all needs to be bladed.
Okay.
But we're definitely doing a forward portion. Then we're gonna have our rock rake with us to see if we can get some of that chunky stuff out of there.
Yeah, get some of those big chunks out of there, that would smooth it out. Do you have any other questions, Deb?
Yeah, I just had one more topic. I think I had mentioned that we're gonna get our subdivision road, and this is the Granite Hills, just a little Tyler Court up there, chip sealed as well this summer. And I just wanted to ask and make sure I got a firm answer whether the county would like to give us a cost on that and do it at the same time as you're doing Corbin, or if you want to just stay out of that.
Yeah, it's probably a little too much for us, Deb.
Okay,
Yeah, it would be nice to be able to do that, but that just puts another day on us, I think, probably.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I've got a couple of bids. And our original builder's actually gonna pay for it. So we don't have to draw out of our R&D at all. So,
okay,
but just wanted to make sure if you guys wanted to recoup a few dollars by doing ours too, wanted to leave that open, but if not, that's cool. Ours, I've got one bid that, is in July, first part of July. So, that's probably what we would do.
okay. Yeah, if something changes on that, Deb, I'll let you know. But if you can just
Okay.
plan on hiring it out right now, like I say, if something changes, we'll definitely let you know.
Okay, cool. That's the topics I had.
Good, sounds good. Hopefully you'll have a smooth road today and a not dusty road later this week.
Awesome. I really appreciate it. It's gonna make our backyard much more enjoyable.
Yes, for sure. All right, Deb, thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Dana asked me about this today. She must be on top of it. Some other guy called her about this same question. It was just asked.
The Granite Hills,
Yeah, I think so. At the same time.
sounds like the contractors. I'll have to talk to Ladena, cause I thought that was the one we had,
So we're
bond
pulling the
on.
bond out from Rusty or somebody. too.
Oh, you are? Yeah, that's the one, yeah. That's the
I'm
one.
wondering if they have some other,
Some guy, I don't know who lives up there.
I'll talk to Ladena about it, get that
Yeah.
figured out, cause if we gotta pull the bond and pay with that, we may end up doing it, because I don't think they have enough money in there, but I'll have to talk
Well,
to
we
Ladena
had
about
talked
it.
about that prior, that if we were doing chip seal, we could do it if it was under the bond, because we wouldn't have enough money to pay
Right.
for it otherwise.
Deb seemed to think that they've got the contractor paying for it, but I don't know if she's
Yeah.
talking to Ladena, and that's what she's getting from Ladena.
This guy, some guy, she wasn't talking to Dana,
Oh,
but
okay.
they do have the money for it. I would wait till Dana's talking.
Okay. Yeah, if they got the money to do it themselves, that's better for us.
Yeah,
That's great. Okay, perfect.
just keep you posted on that one.
Warm Springs Creek, the guy that lives up there called me this morning and said, thank you for doing that. That we can actually get through there, get his propane truck through there, and everything's good. He was just wondering about ongoing maintenance, if you had a chance. Did you get up there with Dan, or? Haven't made it up there yet.
No, I don't foresee that happening in the very near future.
Really? Okay.
I'll reach out to him again, but he was supposed to let me know what his calendar looked like, and I haven't heard back.
Cause we need to figure out what they wanna improve and what we need improved, I guess, and figure out how to, some kind of a.
Kind of going back to what I said last week was the portion that we've been traditionally plowing from Middle Fork to the top at Palmer's. And then the other side from McClellan up to those three houses. Were gonna be the only sections that will entertain maintaining. As far as improvements goes, I don't see us doing a lot of improvements. You know, and the maintaining, and I even had to explain this to Dylan again today, is that the Schedule A and the co-op and everything, it doesn't require us to do anything up there. It's as time allows.
Right.
So
We
here's
can if we
the
need to.
compensation for it. So I would hesitate to commit to any kind of maintenance or anything.
And
up there.
that's road maintenance, not snow plowing.
Right.
We have that money that they set aside for us, I guess, if we have time, the improvements we can do up there, we can probably charge them for it, huh?
Yeah, any work that we do, we can charge as long as we stay under that $40,000 mark. But I don't want to commit to anything because as soon as I do, we're gonna be too busy with other work. And
Right.
We'll never get to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I told the guy up there is that we gotta get with the Forest Service, figure out what we both think need to be done, then we gotta figure out how to pay for it. If we don't have time for it, we'd have to hire it out or whatever, but.
Well, I don't think it'll get done if we're not doing it. They're not looking to. The Forest Service isn't looking into making that a nice county standard road.
Right.
It's beyond the standards of most forest roads right now.
Right,
And to them, that's all they care. Anything beyond that, it's going to be either us doing it or a resident getting a work permit to do it themselves.
oh, okay. So that $40,000, what would that be for?
Any
Like
work
the
that we
culvert?
may do,
Okay,
but it's like the culvert, or if there was a road washout, or if we were able to get up and grade the road
okay,
and do any kind of improvements like that, but it's not for.
not for making it a county road,
No,
there's not enough there anyway.
absolutely not.
Okay,
Yeah, regardless of what Dan said, there was never a discussion of us doing improvement projects. The conversation we had was they had, at the time we signed that agreement, they still had money in their original contract with the private contractor, and they were supposed to go and improve the road to a maintainable standard,
right,
which did not happen.
yeah,
But we never committed to going in and doing any kind of improvements or regular scheduled maintenance, because I knew that we're trying to get out of working on roads that are not ours, not getting into more of them.
true, yep, okay, perfect.
How's, the new guy at Montana City? Oh,
So far, so good. So far, so good. You want to ask Doug about that meeting?
Yeah, we got a fire mitigation meeting or something on the 6th, is that right, Doug?
Yes, yep, that is during your guys' morning session for. Well, the senior response officials meeting, there's gonna be getting quite a few people.
Cause cause Helen just figured out that they're using this room for elections that day, that the commission can't use it, so
Oh,
you may have to get with Ginger and see, make sure,
she was the one that I scheduled it through.
okay,
So-
make sure she's okay having that meeting in here, because I think she told Helen we're
Yeah,
not allowed in
it's
here.
it's
I don't
not
know,
available.
if it's just an afternoon thing, you're probably okay, but.
No, it was in the morning, so I'll check with her. I scheduled it with her, so.
Okay. Either something changed, or maybe we can't
Maybe
be
it's
here in
just,
the afternoon.
maybe it's just not the
Yeah,
afternoon.
Maybe it's just an afternoon thing, so.
I'll check with her.
The
Thank you.
volunteer hall's not available either.
I guess we'll have it at your house.
I'll be in the volunteer hall.
All right.
That's all I got.
I can't think of anything else. Mr.
All right.
Chairman.
Not at all. Otherwise, if nothing else, this concludes this meeting.
Then we'll go to. We'll have to maybe discuss another meeting in May, since the 6th looks like it's gonna be a busy day. Maybe we'll just plan on the 13th. For next road meeting.
Oh, I don't know what word.
Yeah.
I mean, cause there's somebody at 10, cause you're usually at 10,
Yeah.
so.
So next meeting of 13th?
Yeah. And then we'll get on to our first Tuesday of the month.
Sure.
Is this one off or on?
It's still on,
Okay,
but I will end it if we're done.
thank you.